Hello, my friend. We're going to go through how to speedrun your first 1,000 followers on Twitter, even if you are starting at zero. Why trust me? I started one of the world's best growth tools called Growth Terminal. It creates content, helps you with smart replies, does automatic DMs, tracking, engagement pods, a bunch of stuff. So I've talked to a lot of great creators every single day. I know what works, what doesn't work. So I'm going to share a lot of these insights here. Also, personally, I have, thousands of followers, and for branded pages, have tens of thousands of followers. So I've seen, the process of 0 to 1 many times. Now let's look at the process of actually going from 0 to 100. So during this portion, you're going to want to build your brand using replies as a main strategy. And then the most important thing is to start creating connections. Let's dive deep into each one of these things. So what do I mean by build your brand? So you need a solid bio. If you don't have anything written about you, people don't know how to put context around who you are and why they would follow you. This is how you identify what your niche is and what value you are promising to provide. Are you there to share marketing insights? Are you there to share the latest on trending financials? You need to actually state these things very clearly in your bio if you want people to understand that. Number two is you also need a good profile picture. If you don't, or if you don't even take one, people aren't going to trust you. So it's really important that you have a profile picture. If you don't have a good one taken, use AI to create one or hire a professional to actually do a photo shoot. Think through what a good profile picture looks like for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a LinkedIn picture, but that doesn't hurt. So also you need a good call to action. So is it like follow me for insights about X? Or is it a link to your website or to your personal brand, to your newsletter? Having call to action always helps also increase your credibility if you have a website that they can also check out. And then also just having a good header image. So the thing that lies above your actual picture. You can go through different branded ones, add like logos. There's a bunch of different stuff you can experiment with there. We also have a video on how to set up your profile well, so you should check that out. So after you have a profile that is set up and optimized, the next thing to do is to start replying to others. What they call this in the industry is reply guying. So that is finding posts in your niche and just engaging with those posts. So if there's a big creator, let's say they do a post that gets 50,000 impressions, your reply might get 1,000 impressions. Versus if you post to a 0 follower audience right now, you will get 0 impressions, likely, maybe 5 if you're lucky. Like you're not going to be served in the algorithm. What reply guying does and tells the algorithm is it puts you into them, so you're piggybacking off of their engagement. But also, like if you have something insightful to say, if you get likes, then your post will be seen to the people who liked your post later down the road. So it starts to spark you inside of the algorithm, which is super important. So reply guying is a really essential strategy from going for the first 0 to 100 people. I recommend it at every level of growth, but especially in the beginning. Like your posts initially won't be being seen, and this will be a lot of how you're actually growing. Next is to actually create connections. So either there's people that you already know, maybe you know people in the industry. Make sure you're DMing them, starting Telegram groups with them, chatting with them, things like that. Find people that you know and engage with them. So if you already have people in your network, like just be replying to their posts, liking their stuff, etc. Be very generous with the engagement that you're giving out. And like I was saying, you want to be able to form nodes within your niche. So who are the popular people in your niche? Identify who they are. Who are the people that they follow? Start to just like map that out in your head and start to embed yourself in that community. So a lot of that is a way to go from 0 to 100 people. You follow people, they follow you back, especially if they're like smaller accounts. This is a great way to do that. To be able to go from 100 to 500, now we're getting into experimenting with content. So I'm going to talk about writing content for the first time, and then how to get into engagement pods and how those work. So for content experiments, when you're 0 to 100, you're just like posting thoughts and stuff. Maybe you have some value that you're trying to provide specifically, but people aren't really engaging with it yet. And that's fine. Like, you just have to be getting your reps in. Don't look at the results yet. So why I'm just putting this into the 100 to 500 is because now, once you have some spark in the algorithm to where people know that you are a person that can be trusted and you're not just like a bot, but you're an actual user, now your content can be seen more. So now it's time to experiment with it. So that could be the writing of threads. If you're familiar, though, that's multiple posts within one, or a longer post that does the see more. That you could be doing hot takes on things that are trending. You could be doing quote tweets, things like that, retweeting things. You want to be taking a lot of shots on goal during this stage because you're not a huge account. You likely don't know what your full voice is yet. You likely want to just be emulating success that you're seeing other people have, but putting your own twist on it. So just be taking a lot of shots on goal, and that is key. The second piece is, in order to actually spark this engagement on your content, is to be using engagement pods. So engagement pods are, every single sized account is utilizing this. If you are 100,000 followers or 1,000 followers, it doesn't matter. Engagement pods are people who have similar sized audiences who are all engaging with each other's content. So if I post a thread, I send it into this group chat that I'm in with these other people. They like it, they retweet it, etc. Then when they post something, they put it in the group chat. I like it, retweet it, whatever. Now let's look at the process from going from 500 to 1,000 followers. So that's going to involve daily content and content maxing, being generous with your engagement and who you're following, creating a niche around your brand, and beginning to build a world around what you're doing, which is also the strategy from going 1,000 max. Let's first look at daily content. So it's time to content max. So you've done a lot of homework in the laboratory, figuring out what sort of content you want to be posting, what works, what doesn't work, etc. Doubling down on what works, what doesn't. You also want to be increasing the volume here, so posting daily. And then you also want to be investing in future posts. So you don't wake up every morning, you're like, oh, what am I going to post today? But you have like a bigger piece that you're going to post next Tuesday that you've been working on for the last 3 days, etc. So starting to really invest in doing high quality content and leverage that, but also engaging in trends that are happening every day. So whatever's hot on the timeline that day, either making sure you're doing a quote tweet about it, a hot take about it, a quick take about it, just being, involved and chronically online. I think this is super important to just be content maxing, taking as many shots on goal as possible. The second thing is obviously this generosity towards engagement. So defaulting towards liking someone's thing, replying to it, but also in regards to following. So if someone follows you, a lot of people are like, oh, like that's cool. But really, if you follow them back, you're creating more of a friendship. It's kind of like they're like offering a rose to you. Do you accept it and like give them one back, or are you just taking it? So if you're, 100,000 plus people, you're not going to follow everyone back. But especially in the beginning, it's really important to follow people back if they're in your target market as much as possible, because not only does it signal to the algorithm that these are the type of people that you want to engage with, but also they're more likely to like your stuff in the future. So be generous with people who follow you. If you're putting good in, you're going to be getting good out. The next thing is to actually build your niche. And at this point, you should know like pretty well who you want to be, and then staying in your lane also. So I know you are a complex human and you have a ton of interests and things that you create and love and to do. Maybe you love to garden and roller skate and do all these other things, but you want to stick to your specific niche and post about it as much as possible. Hyper specific is better. Instead of being, the marketing person, you're being like the SEO person, or I'm the AI SEO person. That's going to be a huge increase. The more hyper specific you are, the better. Last, you want to begin to start world building. What does it actually mean to world build? So this is a strategy that people use for 1,000 plus people. But if you're imagining your page like a sitcom, it's like, who are the recurring characters? What are the plots that are happening? The tension points. Begin to find them and exploit them and start to actually tell these bigger narratives about what's happening. This is then turning you from just an individual to having a whole world of mythology around you. And that's necessary for you to be going from 1,000 to 10,000, 20, etc. So these are all a bunch of quick tips. Really what it's all about is defining who you are really well, creating high quality content and giving a lot of love, engaging with a lot of people, and having good things to say to them. If you want help with any of these things, our tool growthterminal.ai does exactly all of that. It's an AI tool that actually helps you write content, helps you do smart replies, help you do DMs, find different trends. So it makes all of this stuff, if it sounds overwhelming, it takes hours of work in 2 minutes. So you should 100% check that out, and there's a discount code in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, my friends.